Hello, hi there, and welcome to tonight's last review. This night's last review. Just made one about Rango, if you'd like to go ahead and check that out. When I start drinking, and it's probably going to be a worse video than this one because of poor planning. But I welcome you to watch this one a little bit more consistently, a little bit more drunk, and a little bit done maybe better, maybe worse. Who knows? We'll know after I've exported the audio, which I'm most concerned about. But let's hit the review. Today we'll be reviewing the movie called Frankenstein. That was just recently placed on Netflix, which I personally gave 4.5 stars, made by Guillermo del Toro. Best fucking movie I've seen this whole ass year. Not gonna fucking lie to you. Released recently on November 7th of this year, Netflix released Frankenstein, and it's inspired by Mary Shelley's 18th novel, The Modern Prometheus. What is that? I don't know. We find ourselves buried in land-filled snow, a land full of snow, where we find fishermen, or just sailors in general, stranded in the middle of nowhere, trying to get to the North Pole. Why? We do not know yet. Maybe we will never know. Spoilers. Yet, by day to night, after working very, very hard, everybody wanting to go home, but the captain refusing, they find a little fire in the middle of nowhere, close to the North Pole. What could it be? Who knows? We definitely don't know because the title of the movie, Frankenstein. Yet they go to investigate and they find themselves one man and a bunch of fucking blood with no other bodies. Victor Frankenstein, who they save from a monster that goes ahead and attacks them just to get revenge on Victor, which is basically the plot of our movie. Now, for purposes of this video, I will be referring to the monster, or the villain, of this movie as Frankenstein, and the protagonist, the scientist, as we know, as Victor Frankenstein. But officially, the monster is just relabeled as Monster, and not Frankenstein, unfortunately. Now, who made this movie? Like I mentioned before, Guillermo del Toro made this movie, and he mentioned he was inspired by his favorite book, Frankenstein. He was a director and writer of this film, of course, and for some reason I may be hallucinating and maybe even imagined it. But he said, or well, the Netflix description said it was a Stephen King adaptation. I'm not saying that because I'm drunk, because I genuinely saw that and then never saw it again when I tried to screenshot it. I thought that was just how it was. I don't know. Anyways, I was not stoned or drunk in that moment. But who's our cast? We have Oscar Isaac, that plays Victor Frankenstein, the scientist. He is also the voice of Miguel O'Hara from Spider-Man. What? Spider-Verse? And Solid Snake? And Metal Gear Solid? I don't know. Anyways, we also got Jaco Elordi, I hope his name is right, as the creature. He's also appeared on a TV series called Euphoria as Nate Jacobs, and in a development into his next production, well, not his production, but he's part of something called Outer Dark. Who knows? Maybe I'll put the trailer. I don't know what it's about. Christopher Waltz, he plays the handler, which is somebody who helps out Victor make his dream of making a monster. He's apparently also Dr. King Schultz from Django Unchained. I did not recognize him at all. But holy hell, he's the German guy. I honestly didn't. You'd think you'd recognize him, but no. We got Mia Goth, who's also Elizabeth or Claire Frankenstein, a character who marries the brother of Victor Frankenstein. She's also known for being a Pearl, or for Infinity Pool, as Gabby Buell? Never seen it. and also Felix Kammer as William Frankenstein, i.e., his husband of Elizabeth Claire Frankenstein. But he's also known as Paul Bummer in All Quiet on the Western Front, which I found interesting when I saw the little themejig. I actually might watch that one. But what did I like? Although it's not without a perfect score on IMDb, I think it should have been with a near perfect score. I absolutely love the film. Definitely the best thing I've seen this year. I repeat it again because it's part of the script. And it's written to perfection. The characters are written to perfection. It's just near perfection in any other way. I don't know how to describe it. What? Everything has a great resolution. Really, everything has a great resolution. The only thing that doesn't have a great resolution is Frankenstein's resolution. He should have had a happy fucking ending, but he didn't. Why? I don't know. It's too late. We just hope the best for our poor little monster. But didn't I like? Well, till now I only really had one issue with the movie, which was explained at the end. Because this motherfucker was so strong, Frankenstein, he could have punched through the fucking boat, but he decided just to not. I mean, he wanted to kill Victor so bad, he could have just sunk the boat. But it was explained at the end, at least in some manner. It was explained that why he didn't do it. Other than that, I'll just go ahead and complain about that we didn't get more. I genuinely wanted to see more, because to my eyes, everything was perfect once it ended. In technical aspects and software, and some challenges and others. A lot of parts, including a few sets, are actually built. I believe the boat was actually built. It was real, and Guillermo insisted on that. It was just so much dedication on those sets, how they were built. I will try to go ahead and find some pictures for you actually. One little thing that I personally didn't mind that I did read, because it's just for nerds. Spoilers: Victor Frankenstein actually tries to use dynamite to kill Frankenstein himself. But the movie is supposed to be set on 1957, but dynamite wasn't invented until 1866. I'm sorry. The movie was set to be on 1857, but dynamite wasn't invented until 1866. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we have fucking guys creating monsters, so who the fuck cares? When it comes to finances, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of information on the moment. But as I've seen its critiques and its success, I think it would be a very successful and very financially gratifying movie, as it was estimated to be used $120 million as budget, so you'd imagine that at least get that back, because Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. And I'm guessing that's mostly for the sets that were built, and other than that, it was just absolutely extraordinary. I'm not sure how much it would have returned on its opening day, but I do believe it would genuinely be a financial success. One thing that I didn't understand is that I was recommended this movie by a friend, and they mentioned that the movie gave major daddy issue vibes. I don't know for who. I don't know why. I don't want to know. I just want to live in bliss that maybe I just don't understand what they mean by daddy issues. But yeah, if you're wondering, the movie gives major daddy issue vibes, if you know what the hell that is. But now, what do people think? What do people think about the movie? Well, first and foremost, the film was nominated and won a bunch of awards. Secondly, in IMDb, the film with 86.4 thousand ratings, and it was given 7.6. That actually kind of sucks, so you'd expect to at least bare minimum get an 8. But the comments were actually pretty nice on IMDb. a user named Mythbuff says, very well made, but way too different. And although I do agree with the sentiment, the whole point was to make it very different and not make it the same. Bruh, it's literally an adaptation. But that's fine. Maybe they just didn't know. Maybe if they'd known that, they would have rated it higher. But well, now we can get to the unhinged reviews from Letterboxd, which gave it a 3.9 out of 5 stars. Better. Way better than fucking the 7 point who knows what. Now, let's see. From Letterboxd, user Blair Macmillan says, with 4 stars, men want to give birth so bad. Yes. Yes, they do. We're so close to achieving it. So fucking close. Now we will be able to eradicate women. What else? User movie good or bad says Sigmund Freud would have said so much about Victor's relationship to Milk and the love of his life looking just like his mom. I'm guessing he meant to say to Milk that his mom, that his crush looked a lot like his mom. I did not pay attention to that part at all, but I'd see where you're coming from. Other user says 5 stars. Horror Barbie says how to make Jacob Elordi in my basement tutorial. Anyways, I'm skipping that one. User Rodrigo, I was gonna say Ringo, says Del Toro's Frankenstein taught me one thing: if you throw enough metaphors at it, the wall, eventually Lord Ryan shows up to explain nothing. Which I do understand why he'd think there's too many metaphors, but honestly, I think it helps a lot because even though it throws a lot of metaphors at you, it doesn't tell you or give you an answer to those metaphors like anime does. Like, they don't give exposition to what they're trying to say to let you think about what they're trying to say instead of just telling you like what they're doing in the moment. That's kind of why I hate anime. Anyways, Gillian says, every part of this is Del Toro and yet none of it is Frankenstein. Thank God Mary Shelley isn't here to see this. Frankenstein is a tale of hubris and ruin. A horror novel compared to this Boris Karloff's Frankenstein is somehow more Frankenstein than this, and that's saying a goddamn lot. Also, what the fuck, what the duck? They wrote this score. Frankenstein wasn't created by Tim Burton and shouldn't be sound as much. This is what caught my eye because they saw it was made by Tim Burton. I saw it made by Stephen King, so maybe it was just the publishers being stupid and retarded. Anyways, once more, I mean, it deviated a lot from the original work. I'm pretty sure of that, even if I haven't read the book. But that's the whole point. In conventions, he has been mentioning that when he wanted to make Frankenstein, he wanted to make his Frankenstein. His version of it. His rendition of what he fucking thought. Anyways. I also wanted to give a little bit of spice to what is the bad reviews. Because mostly those were actually good reviews and actually good critiques. And bad reviews mostly say it sucks, it's stupid, it's dumb. But I actually want to find actual low-star reviews with more or less better critiques. Let's see here. We have user yes. She wants to be Nosferatu so bad. No, but seriously, in 150 minutes, the only emotions this movie made me feel was disgust and disappointment. Predictable, stupid, and worst of all, boring. Which I do understand. At moments it can be predictable. Not disgusting, I don't understand that part. And by predictable, well, it's boring. But you have to realize that this story has been told hundreds of times in different ways, with different characters. Even such, if you remember Frankenweenie, I mean, we already know kind of what's gonna happen, and if something is different, we can already imagine the possibilities of how that affects the story on, you know? So at a certain point, I understand that it comes predictable, but it was just so well executed that even if it was predictable, you just loved it. Because it was so well executed. Better than you could have predicted. Not with any twists or turns or anything unexpected, but just great acting, a great composition, and just great storytelling, even if it was predictable. But in conclusion, I believe the majority of people will actually love this adaptation. Personally, it hit a little too close to home and would have loved to see more of Frankenstein and what he did after the end of the movie, just to not spoil it. But it is a great drama movie to binge watch. And yes, I did say drama because officially it's marked as drama, horror, and fantasy. Although I don't really see the fantasy and horror in it, but I do see the drama. And you should watch it because of that, the fucking drama. It's great, and you honestly should give it a chance. But honestly, that's it for today. Before my battery runs out on the fucking camera, I'll be making another review tomorrow morning for the last movie. The next one will be The Illusionist. Well, it's not called The Illusionist. It's called Now You See Me, Now You Don't 3, which sucked ass. And honestly, I did not have the willpower, or I'm not drunk enough to fucking wait till my battery charges and record that one. Honestly, it's just gonna suck ass. It's just gonna be a sucky, negative ass review. So I'll just stash away the alcohol and save it for tomorrow. But if you like the review, please go ahead and like it. And if you disagree with my takes or tell me I am an uneducated fuck, please go ahead and send me material or other movies I should go ahead and review. I would love to go ahead and expand my knowledge, as I am a uneducated swine. I literally live under a rock, and that's why I know nothing about this shit. I just give my opinion, which is just a general and objectively average opinion. I generally don't give a fuck about who did what and who's in what. Was the movie good? Was the movie bad? Can I watch it again in a few years? Yes, no, why? That's all I want to know. I don't give a shit really about the financials. It's just a little bit of extra. Anyways, but if you did like the movie, please go ahead and subscribe. Watch it again. Watch it on your free time. I'm sure as hell gonna watch it while I'm working. Why? Because why not? But please go ahead and subscribe. Please tell me any other movie you'd like me to watch. And yes, even if I am talking to myself, that is fine. I will keep taking screenshots of the movies I see on shorts and TikToks so I can stash them for later. That would be it for today. Good night, good afternoon, good morning. I'm done drinking for today.